Hello, good morning, and welcome to the newspaper review here on TAP TV. This is where we get to discuss trending and catchy headlines every day. My name is Obed Jerry, your host for today, and yes, you can also be a part of this show. Do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel, turn on the notification button, connect also with us across all our social media platforms so that you get to receive our notifications. Well, like we've been doing it, we are the streets of Port Harcourt at the newspaper stand to get reactions and thoughts of people on the street. Let's get to hear what they have to say as regards the headlines making rounds on the papers. Well, before we go into that, let's first look into the stories and see what the headlines look like. First, we'll be looking at the Vanguard newspaper, today being Tuesday, March 5th, 2024. You can see as headline here reads, "Why Sims previously linked to NIN were bad, says NCC." Details of the story is found on page 5. NPR, Obaseki fault CBN, warns of tougher times ahead. Details is found on page 4. Edo Guba, INEC opens candidates nomination portal. Sub-story under that reads, "I am APC candidate. Idahosa writes INEC. IPAC tax parties on issue-based campaign." Details of the story is found on page 7. Electricity. Discos reject 753 megawatts despite federal government's pressure. Details is found on page 21. You can see how the main story here reads, "Corporate Nigeria shuts down Lagos for Wigwe." Sub-story under that reads, "As Dangote, Edun, Kadoso, Sanwo-Olu, Adeshino, Aigimokude, others pay tribute." Details of the story is found on page 19. 2023 African Games. 358 athletes to represent Nigeria in 25 sports. Details is found on page 4 of the Vanguard newspaper. And that's all we'll be taking on the Vanguard newspaper. Moving on, we'll be looking at the Punch newspaper. We can see as headline here reads, "AFDB plans $2.7 billion budget at Greek loans for Nigeria." Details is found on page 35. Dangote names refinery road after Wigwe. Details is found on page 35. Approach Zimbabwe for solution to inflation. Obasanjo tells federal government. Details is found on page 34. We see at the main story here reads, "Food crisis. OPS warns of shutdown as hoodlums loot more trucks." Sub-story under that reads, "Building materials. Spaghetti trucks attacked in Ogun. Kaduna. 15 arrested in Abuja. Federal government condemns warehouse looting. Kanu stores evacuate warehouses. Kanu stores evacuate wares. States to get free grain." Details of the story is found on page 2. Banks involved in 70% of financial crimes. Details of the story is banks involved in 70% of financial crime, says EFCC. Details of the story is found on page 36. Navy arrests Ghanaian vessel with 2 million liters stolen crude. Details is found on page 23. Idahosa sues INEC over Edo APC primary. Details is found on page 34, and that's all we'll be taking on the Punch newspaper. And lastly for today, we'll be looking at the Nation's newspaper. You can see as headline here reads, "Tearful Dangote immortalizes Wigwe, road named after him." Details is found on page 4. Transcorp Power hits 2 trillion naira on listing rally. Sub-story under that reads, "Firm targets 500 billion naira." Details of this story is found also on page 4. Tantita, NSCDC operative, sets ablaze storage facility. Details is found on page 6. Abia workers to get 35,000 naira wage award, says OT. Details of this story is found on page 5. Handover to new caretakers. Mba direct 17 Enugu Council chairman. Details is found on page 5. Why telcos bar 40 million telephone lines? More NINs to be verified, says NCC. Details is found on page 3. You can see how the main story here reads, "Government tackles minimum wage talks to Nigerians in zones." Sub-story under that reads, Private sector players, orders to give input in Uyo, Lagos, Abuja, Kano, Sokoto, Yola. Details of this story is found on page 3. And lastly, we can see at the bottom story here reads, "Kanu's 1 billion naira suit against DSS gets March 18 date." Details is found on page 4. Dissolved Bayelsa Tribunal. Details is found on page 5. And that's all we'll be taking on the Nation's newspaper. And now let's see the reactions of people on the street. Now let's hear what they have to say as regards the headlines making rounds on the papers. Right, good morning, sir.
Good morning, my
I'd
brother.
like your thoughts on this story on the Punch that says food crisis. OPS warns of shutdown as hoodlums loot more trucks.
The situation in Nigeria concerning hunger is taking a very dangerous dimension.
Exactly.
That the government have to sit up and do something now. If the government, the federal government, fails to do something now, the situation now is no longer a prophecy. It's something that people are just seeing. Everybody is seeing it. It's no longer a prophecy that this bishop, this prophet said. No. Everybody now is assumed to be prophets because it's seen. The handwriting is there on the wall. The President of Federal Republic of Nigeria, Haji Bola Ahmed Tinubu, with his ministers in Nigeria should do something right now before it is late. A situation whereby food trucks are being hijacked everywhere, almost everywhere in Nigeria. That people are very hungry. I read in Tentacle last week or so, where people are selling their children for 30,000. At least federal government should be sympathetic. Doesn't mean that they don't read these things. Should be sympathetic with the people. They should stand up, invest money in agriculture, encourage people to go into agriculture. Government should do their best to make sure that it's not during election, people will begin to run around to see how they can win. For you to win, just like our governor River State here, Fobara, look at what he's doing. He has given civil servants 100,000 during Christmas for bonus. Yeah, he's now campaigning for himself and his government. I am telling you, I'm assuring you that no civil servant, unless those that I will call saboteurs, that will not vote for this man.
Exactly, on second term.
Yeah, don't wait for the last minute before you do something you're supposed to do for the people. I'm an aspiring political scientist. There is something we call legislative authority and power. The legitimacy is the will of the people. What the people, the vote of the people. You don't need to wait until when it is the last minute. Then you think that you can change the will of the people with money. It is hard at that sense.
Early hour and start making them.
Yes, start making effort. Make the effort from now. If the people are made to be self-sufficient, can somebody who is well think of going for robbery? Except those that devil have planted evil in their hearts. You understand? So, government should do something now. Otherwise, the trend, where this trend is going now, it's already a pitiable situation. So that it does not result to things that we may not be thinking today. Because an angry man, as a hungry man, is an angry man. You understand? The people can decide to do anything. Do you have any question?
Okay, sir, we could see how the economy is at the moment now. Do you think there is hope for Nigeria, knowing how the economy is and knowing how the pattern of government that the president is running at the moment?
Thank you for this question. The economy of Nigeria, as far as I'm concerned, have collapsed. As far as I'm concerned.
Was there hope for Nigeria?
The hope starts from now. Because if the federal government can can stand up, like I said before, make some amendments, bring economy, those who know what they read in university, experts in economic management. If the government can sit up, bring these people, forget about politics. The time of politicking have passed. Now is for you to do those things you promised the people. You said we have a renewed hope. Is our hope renewed now or is dimmed? Is our hope renewed now or is dimmed? You understand? The government should do what they are supposed to do. I don't think for now, the way things are going, the trend of things are going, that there is hope. I don't think. But there is nothing impossible for God to do.
Exactly.
You understand? God, can touch the heart of the leaders to know the right thing to do. I am assuring you that if the federal government now stand up and do what they are supposed to do, I think there should be hope. But if they fail to do what they are supposed to do, my brother, our hope, I don't think there is any hope.
All right, one last question, sir. We could see that before President Tinubu came into power, we know that the country has been jeopardized before now from the Buhari's administration. Now we could see, are we to blame the insecurity angle of how the economy is, or because they are not investing in agriculture, or because of the removal of subsidy? Because most persons, why the price of food hike and all that, they would say because of the
Take the questions one by one. Let me so that I'll be able to give you the
Okay, sir. Seeing how the economy is now, are we to blame the removal of subsidy? Because most persons, the hike of price of what they sell, they would say.
Okay, now just wait. We are talking about removal of subsidy. With the president removed on the day he was being sworn. We read the newspapers. I am not trying to say what I don't know.
Exactly.
That subsidy was not removed. You understand?
Exactly.
They mentioned how many billions of trillions of naira that is being spent. They say they have removed subsidy, but I think you read about it now, where about 1 trillion naira is being spent still on the same subsidy that was removed. I don't believe that subsidy was removed. I don't believe. Going by what I read, I don't think that subsidy. And for people to be increasing, you see, before you increase anything, you must look at the sensitivity of the people.
Exactly.
If you remove this subsidy, what effect is it going to have on the people?
And for you to even want to remove this subsidy, you must have a plan B.
There must be a plan B. There must be alternative plans for you to be able to hold the people. Because God created rich men, poor men. See, there are three categories of people in the society. There are the proletariats, there are the middle class, and there are the bourgeoisie, the owners of means of production. You understand? So the poor people, the proletariats, are depending on the rich people for their survival. You understand? So because of that, you need to take care of these people, because during the election, they are the ones that they are coming to give 10,000 or 5,000, go vote for me. But if somebody like as I am now, if I eat very well, I have, like my governor is now.
You have been treating well.
Yes, I am into agriculture. I have been growing. I retired from Nigeria Telecommunications. I started growing oil palm in 1986. I am growing about 10,000 stands of oil palm. I have never gotten a single kobo from federal government or state government. If government empowers me, having about 10,000 stands of oil palm, don't do you? Yeah, on my own effort. Exactly. I'm a pensioner and I'm a retiree. Don't you think that I can employ up to 50 to 100 people? Is it not the economy we're talking about?
Exactly.
You understand? So the government is virtually doing nothing. If they are doing something, what they are doing is not enough. Give me the second question.
Okay, I say that, see the insecurity level. Is it still to blame the security level? Are we to still blame the removal of subsidy, or just? I know some of Nigerians are just evil in their own minds. Some Nigerians on their own would, even during Obasanjo's regime, when things were not this tough, some persons, they still kidnap and they still perpetrate this evil act.
Is it the insecurity in the north or insecurity in the east?
Insecurity in general.
In general. Now, taking the insecurity in the north, the insecurity in the north have a deep-rooted cause.
It's just not an ordinary one.
Yeah, it's not an ordinary. It is political. This security in the north is political. You understand? So, look at what is happening in Niger Republic. You see, the West, they are the ones, I will accuse them of having hand in all this insecurity. Okay, look at in the south and southeast, there is oil here. In the north, there is other minerals like gold and all these things. But you can say that the West are now causing insecurity in Nigeria. I'm talking of north. I watched in YouTube the other time where there is a road in the bush in that Sandila area where light aeroplane, they is running just like it is airport. What are they carrying? Our mineral resources. How can the countries doing all these things allow peace to be in Nigeria?
Exactly, because they gain from it.
Of course, I'm an aspiring political scientist. I'm proud. I'm a student of uniform. You understand? I have read international political economy. I am doing my international marketing in Agro University. You understand? I know about economy. I am combining international marketing and international politics. So nothing somebody can tell me about economy. So they are doing all these things. You understand? Okay, look at the Benin Republic, Niger Republic. No, Niger Republic have decided to take the bull by the horn. You understand? You see the president. Now, I am going back to ask my lecturers in the university, especially Associate Professor Mona Wana. Now that we talk of legitimacy, that is civilian government, army takeover. Now that army have taken over in Niger Republic, and the people now
are living fine.
Do
you expect them
now
to
what do we now talk about this legitimacy again? So we can now see that legitimacy now, if military is ruling well, the people will be happy. You understand? So if civilian is not ruling well, the people will not be happy. Nigeria is a typical case study. You understand? So insecurity in the north is a man-made one that government decides, Federal Republic of Nigeria decides
You want to end it.
to end it like it is in Niger now. I am telling you that it's going to stop. It's an artificial issue. And insecurity in the south, east, especially in the southeast, you see, it is not an effort thing for somebody to say, I want to have my own country. It's not there are some countries in the world that have less than 600 population.
Yes.
Some countries in the world, they have less than.
And they are faring perfectly.
Can you, if you don't love your wife, or your wife doesn't love you, can you somebody force you to go and marry somebody you don't love? These people have decided to be on their own. Allow them. Okay, look at what is happening in Abia State. Go now, they have life too far. Is it not what we want?
Exactly.
Allow these Igbo people to go. I am assuring you that before you get the visa to enter into Biafra, I am speaking to television, or I am not an advocate of Biafra. You understand? But I am telling you from the political point of view. All this is political. Allow them to go if they want to go. If Southwest goes, North goes, I am assuring you that these countries are going to be great ones, very great countries. What we have in Nigeria, France doesn't have, Britain doesn't have, most of this Western world doesn't have, and that's why they're always afraid of Nigeria and Africa in general. You understand? So they should allow them. The people say they want to go, allow them to go. And the insecurity in the south, that one is that you are taking somebody's property and he's not benefiting from it. You understand? He's not benefiting. What will you expect him to do? He has to use force to get what he wants. You understand? So the oil is in their backyard. They are not getting them. Okay, look at most of the oil wells in the south belongs to people from other regions. If not you go there happy, you will be angry. You must look for one way or the other. So, okay, just like the people in Nigeria are now fighting because of hunger. Is it not hunger that have simulated the looting of vehicles?
Exactly.
It's the same thing happening in Nigeria Delta. The people are not happy. Also the same thing happening in the southeast. We want to go, allow us to go. Give us food. Allow us to partake in our mineral resource. And I've been told now that I've read that oil is going to finish in Nigeria in less than 50 years' time. So if oil finishes, what are these people going to hold on with?
Exactly.
So if they can now build up themselves, prepare for the hard time to come, I think they will not have regret having this thing.
Right.
Any other question?
Thank you very much, sir. All right, good morning.
Morning.
I would like your thoughts on the Nation's newspaper that says why telecos bar 40 million telephone lines because of this NIN thing. So they've barred 40 million lines.
The fact is that government, they don't plan their things very well. What they told us today, tomorrow they will tell us another thing. Last time they told us that we should go and do our NIN and link it to our bank details. So after done that, now they told us that we should go and do NIN to link it to our bank account, the same thing. Tomorrow they may tell us another story, which means the government we are operating in this country is confused. They don't know what they are doing. So the people are confused. We no longer know where to go because their policy is somersaulting.
It's not stable.
It's not stable. So we don't know where to go.
And now these 40 million lines that they have barred, don't you think it will affect businesses? Because some persons, this line are connected to their bank accounts. Some persons, this line is their business lines that they use for transactions.
Not only businesses, it will affect lives. Assuming that somebody have an emergency health issue.
Okay, and you want to call out for help.
Want to call out for help, like ambulance and other things. Security-wise, you cannot call the police or any other security agencies to come to your rescue. So there are so many things that barring of lines will cause. So they have to rethink if they want the citizenry to continue to live.
But removing this NIN thing and stopping the barring of line is still causing some sort of insecurity, because we know that some persons are using these SIM cards for fraudulent activities.
Of course, the so-called NIN, the people that selling SIM card, they can use one NIN and register
for so many SIMs.
So
sometimes, I know you've encountered sometimes like some persons will call you on the phone, numbers that you do not know, and start calling you another name.
Exactly, that is true. But that of BVN is more better, because nobody will use your BVN and do all that. Go and register through your BVN. It's not so easy. They should focus on using that BVN than disturbing the people. I've registered my line more than 2 or 3 times. After some time, they will tell you it's no longer working. So I don't know where to go.
So what's your suggestion or the advice to the federal government as regards this barring of line? Should they stop the barring of line, or should they extend the dates of which they will start barring lines?
So federal government is federal government. Individual cannot give them order. If they insist that the citizenry should go and register their NIN and link it to their bank account and so on and so forth, they should give them enough time
to do it, especially people in the rural areas, in the villages.
They should give them enough time. You can't just stampede people, go and do this, go and do. In this hard time, where people are looking a way out of getting their daily living, you'll be disturbing them from doing this. Give them enough time. Just like what they did last time. They want to change the currency. People lost their life.
All of a sudden, and people lost wealth.
Yes. All of a sudden, you say, let's continue using it. So that's why I said the government is confused. Before they want to do anything, they have to plan it very well to know the area that it will affect the people. So that's my take on that issue.
All right, thank you very much.
And you too.
All right, this is where we get to draw our curtains for today. You've heard what has been discussed here. You've heard the reactions of people on the street as regards these headlines making rounds on the papers. If you have anything to add to it, please slide to our comment section and drop your comments. And if you are yet to subscribe to our channel, please subscribe, turn on your notification button, connect with us across all our social media platforms, so that when we drop our notifications, you get to receive it. Well, my name is Obed Jerry, your host for today, and this has been the newspaper review here on TAF TV. See you next time.